สวัสดีครับ Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to extend a warm welcome to all of you to Thailand Focus 2021, organized by the Stock Exchange of Thailand. This year is the 15th year of Thailand Focus, which is the premier event of the Thai capital market and the largest portfolio investment conference in Thailand. This year's theme is Thriving in the Next Normal, highlighting issues through global pandemic of COVID-19, how our country deals with the situation, and what will be the next steps post-COVID-19. The session will start from a welcome address by Dr. Pakorn, Peetathawatchai, President of the Stock Exchange of Thailand, followed by an opening speech and keynote address, Shaping Thailand's Readiness for Post-COVID-19 Economic Opportunities, by the Minister of Finance, Mr. Arkhom Termpittayapaisith. Please note that questions can be submitted through the QR code shown on screen. May I now invite Dr. Pakorn Peetathawatchai, President of the Stock Exchange of Thailand, to deliver his welcome address.
Minister of Finance, Mr. Arkhom Termpittayapaisith, Governor of the Bank of Thailand, Dr. Sethaput Suthiwat Naruput, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure to welcome all of you to our flagship annual Inbound Roadshow event, Thailand Focus, a 3-day virtual conference and a showcase of Thai capital market to investors all over the world. As we all aware, the pandemic has touched every arm of life. Almost 2 years since the outbreak, people have adapted and changed their way of living, including the way we organize today's event to be in a virtual format. In what follows, we will hear from policymakers, top executives, key opinion leaders, and experts about key challenges, public policy, business adaptation, investment opportunities, and success story of innovation and sustainability that will thrive in the next normal of Thai capital market. There are opportunities lie in every crisis. Thai capital market has proved its resiliency with a quick recovery after the outbreak. Despite the pandemic, the Stock Exchange of Thailand has successfully delivered the following result. That is one of the most preferred venue for IPO. In 2020, our IPO value was around $5 billion, ranked among top 10 in the world, top 5 in Asia, and number 1 in ASEAN. For the first half of this year, a strong IPO deal flow continued with the IPO value reaching $3 billion already. That is the most liquid exchange in ASEAN. The average daily turnover has jumped to well above $3 billion in this year from $2.2 billion last year, thanks to our good mix of investor base and steady supplies of the new listed companies. Set listed companies are among the leaders in sustainability practice, winning award and recognition. 21 set listed companies are included in the Dow Jones Sustainability Index, the highest number in ASEAN, and recently, Thailand was ranked number 1 among ASEAN countries for achieving the UN Sustainable Development Goal. To thrive further, that focus on ensuring a smooth transition to the next normal by embracing new digital technology and enhancing connectivity for investors to global market to strengthen its competitiveness in the following areas. On ESG data platform, that is developing an online disclosure platform with structured data template to promote availability of comparable ESG data for investors and other data users, creating value from a listed company disclosure. On global product platform, that will develop global product issuing and trading platform to connect with investment opportunity abroad through exchange traded fund and depository receipt program. The platform will provide convenience to intermediary and customer to offer and invest in cross-border assets in the local market. On digital infrastructure, SET will further improve the capital market digital infrastructure with new services. We have worked in collaboration with key players to better serve our market participants through various e-services such as e-AGM, e-proxy voting, and e-KYC. In the pipeline, a digital asset platform scheduled to be launched in 2022 will offer new businesses and provide investors with a more diverse range of investment alternatives. To conclude, sustainable business and investment, leveraging on digital technology, and regional and global connectivity will be focused in our strategy for thriving. In today's conference, we will hear more challenges and opportunities in the next normal from our excellent line of speakers, panelists, and moderators. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce the next session that will be the keynote address by His Excellency, Minister of Finance, Mr. Arkhom Termpittayapaisith. Please welcome His Excellency.
Distinguished global investors, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great pleasure to deliver this keynote address to the Thailand Focus 2021 conference organized by the Stock Exchange of Thailand. Today's conference comes at an opportune time as we continue our efforts to overcome the pandemic while working towards ensuring Thailand's readiness to thrive the post-COVID world. I would like to share with you some of my perspective on key issues, including Thailand economic outlook, recent government's economic stimulus package, medium and long-term policy direction, and roles and expectation of capital market in post-COVID-19. Yet, not to mention the Lambda variant that emerged in some countries. Distinguished participants, let me begin by providing you with some views on Thailand's economic prospect and the impact from COVID-19. As you are aware, Thai economy has severely been affected by a series of COVID-19 outbreaks. Last year, Thailand successfully contained the spread of the virus. However, like many other countries in the region, the highly contagious Delta variant has proven to be much more difficult to contain and has spread more widely at a much faster rate. The government once again had to act quickly to divert necessary resources to assist the healthcare system and workers, reintroduce containment measures to curb the rising infection rates and save lives. As expected, the containment measures reduce economic activities and mobility of the people, leading to the interruption of our economic recovery and growth prospect for 2021. In this regard, the Ministry of Finance has revised the economic growth projection of the Thai economy in 2021 to 1.3% due to the latest wave of the COVID-19 outbreak that began towards the end of the second quarter this year. The revision were mainly due to the impact of the tourism sector and the reduction of the domestic economic activities. In particular, domestic spending has significantly been affected by COVID-19. However, many government support programs, including co-payment and Shop More, Get More, have helped sustain the level of domestic consumption. Such support will continue as they are critical to future growth prospects of our economy. On the other hand, economic recovery of our major trading partners has increased the demand for our export. We expect that The pickup in merchandise export will be the key driver in supporting Thai economy by the end of this year. According to the latest figure, we already saw total export value expanded by almost 16% Y-on-Y in first half of 2021. And export in June also expanded strongly by 44% year-on-year, the highest growth in 11 years. We can also see the increase in private investment during the first half of 2021, as reflected by the expansion of the capital goods importation by 14.5% Y-on-Y. Despite the high growth of 7.5% Y-on-Y in the second quarter of this year, but we still see the weakening of the economy as observed through less than 1% Q-on-Q since the beginning of this year. With the second and third wave of spreading of the COVID-19, it is believed that the recovery would take much longer time than expected. This leads to the revision of economic forecasts by various economic agencies, both government and private sectors. For instance, the Bank of Thailand has recently projected GDP growth at 0.7% in 2021 and recovery at 3.7% in 2022, while the National Economic and Social Development Council has also revised their forecast down to 0.7 to 1.2%, down from 1.5 to 2.5% in 2021. However, for 2022, the government would put our utmost efforts to stimulate the economy, especially gradual reopening the economy by implementing the Phuket Sandbox and Samui Plus model, which now extend to our tourist provinces, all in the southern region. With the improvement of the COVID-19 situation, the government would keep our economic growth target at 4 to 5% in 2022. Distinguished guests, allow me to touch upon our recent economic policies to support the economy. Since the beginning of the outbreak last year, we have moved quickly to ensure that funds are available to support all COVID-19 related issues, in particular, the procurement of vaccines and accelerating the vaccination. 2 emergency loan decrees with a total of 1.5 trillion baht were enacted. The first 1 trillion baht emergency loan decree has mostly been implemented, and the second emergency loan decree of 500 billion baht is available from now until the end of next fiscal year. Some of the fiscal programs that the Ministry of Finance has rolled out so far includes: first, We Win scheme, an additional 1,000 baht per person cash handout for qualified people each week for 2 weeks. Second, cash handout to state welfare card holders, giving an additional monthly allowance of 200 baht per month for 6 months to state welfare card holders. Third, cash handout to people who need special assistance, providing a monthly handout of 200 baht per month via Thai citizen ID cards for 6 months. Fourth, co-payment half phase 3, co-payment scheme which allows registered individuals to receive 50% subsidy for their daily expenses. Fifth, Shop More, Get More scheme, which the government will provide a cashback e-voucher to people who buy products, foods and services from VAT registered stores and outlets. On top of that, the latest program launched last month were to implement the cash handout program for those workers who are under Social Security system of Article 33, 39 and 40 for own account workers, as well as the compensation for the SME and MSMEs who employ not more than 200 workers. The programs also include the tuition fees for school children and university students. The utilities, bills, both electricity and water, have also been partly paid by the government budget to help the households burden. On financial measures, the Ministry of Finance, through the policy guidance to specialized financial institutions or SFIs, and in close coordination with the Bank of Thailand, have come up with a 2-month debt suspension for small and medium-sized enterprises. The SMEs have been hard hit by the latest containment measures and will continue to receive strong support as they are the backbone of our economy. In addition, there are various measures to alleviate corporate and household debts, as well as to enhance financial liquidity, such as soft loans, credit guarantee, debt suspension, debt clinic, and debt mediation. I would like to take this opportunity to emphasize that our fiscal position remains strong. Even after the significant increase in borrowings, the latest debt to GDP remains low compared to our peers at 56.1% and is expected to remain below 60% at the end of this fiscal year. This was a result of many years of prudent management and fiscal discipline. Going forward, if there is a need to increase our debt ceiling, the Fiscal Policy Committee set up under the State Fiscal and Financial Discipline Act can revisit and raise this threshold. In addition, it is important to highlight that we have been able to ensure fiscal discipline even in time of rising public debt level, mainly because of our capability to maintain relatively low interest payments. This was a result of a diversified borrowing strategy made possible by the deep and liquid local currency bond market. Moreover, accommodative monetary policies allow interest rates to be at historical low. The low interest environment is expected to be maintained until economic recovery is back on track. Close coordination between Ministry of Finance and the Bank of Thailand will continue to ensure sufficient liquidity in enabling the government to pursue further economic policy and fiscal stimulus measures without compromising our strong fiscal position. That is why Thailand continues to receive strong assessment from all international ratings agencies, all of which has reaffirmed our credit ratings and outlook. Distinguished guests, as we continue our battle with the COVID-19 pandemic, the government also prepared for reopening the economy to ensure that Thailand is ready to thrive once COVID is finally over. Pandemic has not altered our objectives. In fact, it has strengthened our resolve to thrive towards growth that not only sustainable, but also inclusive and environment friendly. Please allow me to highlight some strategies that we have put in place to lay a foundation for Thailand's long-term growth. First, addressing the issue of inequality by promoting equal opportunities for all. Economic recovery from the pandemic may be uneven, further exacerbating the problems of inequality. In light of this, government is committed to reduce poverty while creating equal opportunity for the people by creating a functional and accessible social safety net. For example, we have introduced a state welfare card to reduce financial burdens for the lower income groups. Second, continue to invest in infrastructure. In the past 6 years, the government has continued to invest in infrastructure projects, including roads, railways, aviation, and energy. These projects are key to Thailand's competitiveness and will also strengthen regional connectivity for the ASEAN region and beyond. Moreover, we have put resources into the Eastern Economic Corridor as catalyst to innovation and future industries. Diversify funding sources from borrowing to public-private partnership or PPP have been made available to support these projects. Third, reducing greenhouse gas and addressing climate change. The government has set the goal to reach zero carbon emission by 2065. In this aspect, Thailand's national agenda includes promoting electric vehicle industry, alternative energy, bio-circular green or BCG model, and reducing carbon emission in the manufacturing industry and reforestation, of course. Green financing has also been utilized in the form of sustainability bond to further support the global fight against climate change. Fourth, strengthening our competitive industry. We must support potential industry that Thailand has competitive advantage, such as food, both in innovating and processing, medical hub, logistic hub, and sustainable tourism. Fifth, promoting future industries. To reach a higher income status, Thailand needs to transform and promote new industry that respond to the global demand. 13 new target industry will lead to higher productivity and income for the people. Thailand aims to promote digital and data center, smart electronics, biochemical, and 6, creating strength and competitiveness for MSME. MSME sector is important to our economy, representing about 42% of GDP. The government is working on promoting new entrepreneurs and startups, increasing access to financing, and creating opportunity to participate in government procurement. Distinguished guests, let me now turn to the roles of the capital market. Thailand's well-balanced capital market has not only been key in supporting Thailand's economic development and competitiveness, but it also allows the economy to better manage and absorb shocks. Looking forward, there is a need to further promote efficiency of the capital markets in order to support the post-COVID-19 economy. Capital market in Thailand for the future should be as follows. First, a place for the new source of fund for SME and new startups that will promote new innovation and new businesses. Second, a source of financing channel for public and private sector to raise new funds for investing in physical and digital infrastructure projects. Third, a place to leverage the leading companies that ultimately will become regional and global corporations. Fourth, a place for transparent and ethical companies that adhere to sustainable development goals. Fifth, a place for financial exchange using up-to-date technology. Sixth, a place for participation involving diverse investor group of domestic and foreign. And 7, a place for regulatory and financial transparency and minority investment investor protection. Moreover, in post-COVID-19 world, The economic growth will be driven by the new industry such as electric vehicles and digital economy. The capital market will play a crucial role in fundraising for their high value-added industries and providing financial support for startups. I'm very pleased to note that Stock Exchange of Thailand has introduced live platform as a way to raise funds for SME and startups. I hope in the future we will see more capital market innovations from the Stock Exchange of Thailand. Distinguished guests, the road ahead will not be so rosy. Many challenges and uncertainties remain. But it is certain that the government is committed to do its utmost to overcome the pandemic. And with the strong and continuous support from all sectors, I believe that we can look forward to a post-COVID economy that is full of opportunity for all. To this end, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to once again thank all for participating in today's conference. I'm very confident that the many prominent speakers today will also provide you with even more insights into Thailand's plan in shaping our post-COVID future. Thank you very much.